Officials with St. Francis House Homeless Shelter say they count on $13,000 a month in private donations to operate. They tell us those donations are now down to only $5,000 to $7,000 a month.
And they are crediting this drop in donations to hard financial times and people now donating to Grace Marketplace Homeless Shelter. WT's Jenny Tintner joins us now in the studio. Jenny, they tell us that it's difficult enough, but the facility is also facing county funding cuts as well.
That's right. St. Francis House officials have asked the county for $50,000 in housing funding for 2016, but that might not happen. That's the amount they received this year for housing from the county. Losing that funding source for both officials and residents are worried about the facility's ability to survive. Albert Dexter says he's been living on the streets for 26 days. He says he chose to come to the St. Francis House over Grace Marketplace for a homeless shelter because it's closer to the city.
I don't know what to do now. The situation, I don't know where I'm living at now, but I come here to eat. I come here to take a shower and do different stuff.
The City of Gainesville and Alachua County each give $280,000 a year to Grace Marketplace. Meanwhile, last year the city gave St. Francis $10,000. That's been cut to $5,000 for next year.
So we're that housing component, we're providing St. Francis House, Arbor House, Sunrise Residence Inn, and we're trying to do that all for less than $1 million. And that's a problem. We can't do that. We have 300 people a day that come into this shelter, and we cannot afford to do that.
St. Francis House was given $50,000 by the county in 2015 for housing. But the county funding board is recommending they give the facility no housing money at all for 2016.
I'm running a large agency with low funding, trying to have people to fill more than one role. That's the struggles I'm having. I understand.
Van says the problem came because he was unable to be at the meeting to prove they deserved the money, and his staff members could not properly answer all the board's questions. He fears this reason is going to force St. Francis House to not be able to operate.
There's more demand out there than we have money for. So what we did today was to bring back a recommendation. We're going to get a recommendation brought back to us that allocates a portion of SHIP money, that's money that the state collects, gives to the counties to provide housing. And recent changes allow us to use a portion of that for this kind of emergency or transitional housing.
Commissioner Hutch said the county will look for other funding options for St. Francis House in the next month.